All right, welcome back, folks, to Sports Talk with me and Jaime. And today, we're not only talking about a phenom, an icon, the Shohei Ohtani. What did he do the other day, Jaime? That I guess he's been the only one that ever done it ever. I think.
So yeah, in the postseason for sure. So there's never been a pitcher to hit 2 home runs in a game. So Bob Gibson and Babe Ruth both have had 10K performance in the playoffs with hitting 1 solo home run. Or they had all guys, whatever, but 1 home run. So then when Shohei hit the second one, it's he's the first time anybody's ever done that. But then he hits a 3rd home run, solidifying it as the greatest. And people can be like, oh, well, they're up 3-0. It doesn't matter. Regardless, they still got to win the game. You can say oh, well, if they didn't win that game, it wouldn't have mattered. And it's just I guess. But then now the thing that happens is you're wasting pitchers, you're wasting bullpen. You're
wasting arms, wasting muscle.
Yeah, you're just wasting everything. When you can have Shohei, who has been a limited pitcher this year, give you 6 innings in a closing out game, and he didn't get the rest of the offense. He scores 3 runs himself. They would have won the game just Shohei.
No, I just learned that Shohei has a special rule. I guess I didn't know that at all, where a pitcher could hit. Right? It's called the Shohei rule.
It's a Shohei rule. So the way it used to work was, if you're the DH and the pitcher, and you move him from the pitching spot, or the substitute takes his position, pretty much is what happens. So you take Shohei out of the game. Now you don't have a DH. So now your pitcher, whoever's pitching, is now hitting into that DH spot, or it's now the DH is technically removed. You are now having a pitcher. You give up your DH pretty much. But then they were like, oh, okay, but if it's because of Shohei, but they're not going to harm him in a way. No, because they do it. Any other team could have their pitcher DH.
Shohei hits first, right, in the lineup?
Yeah, he's their leadoff hitter, yeah.
So normally he wouldn't be there if he was a DH.
No, so last year he started off being the 3-hole, but then they just figure he's better at the leadoff spot, so then they moved him to leadoff.
Okay.
A pitcher normally bats 8th or 9th in order because they can't hit. So the reason they did the Shohei thing is because they're just oh, well, we're not going to make them remove him from DH if he stops pitching. Because he's kind of just doing 2 positions. And it's called the Shohei rule because it's you have to have a certain amount of innings pitched or a certain amount of at bats before you and not anybody can just really do it. But also too, there are teams that have players that are capable of doing a percentage of what Shohei does. They're just not willing to take the risk because Shohei has 6 injuries in his career.
I would say the players themselves don't want to risk injury.
The organizations, players, I think would try it. It's just very hard. The Royals have a guy named Jack Caglione, 2-way player, could have been great. He hits, for power. He's going to be a future 40 home run guy, and he could, he was a solid pitcher. They get him through the minors, and they're just yeah, we're not going to do it. We want your bat. Your bat's better. We're not going to waste the time. The Angels were willing to let Shohei struggle. When he was developing, same thing in Japan. The reason he goes to the team that he went in Japan is because they're allowing him to be 2-way and allowing him to struggle. They're going to hey,
his whole life he's been like this, right?
Correct. And this usually stops in high school. Little league people do this all the time, but by the time you get to high school, and then especially in college, it doesn't really happen.
But he was already probably fully developed. Or not fully, but already way ahead of his time in high school.
12, 13 years old, he probably was one of the best young players in the world. Yeah. And then by the time he's 16, he's probably almost baseball ready.
I don't know if it was just a joke, but this one dude was hey man, you seen this Japanese kid? He's pretty good. He's 12 years old at the time, and the dudes were dude, we had our eye on him since he was 9. So we know.
The actual thing on Shohei is since 10, he was oh crap, this kid is different.
Just scouted.
Yeah, but the A's have a young Japanese player that can pitch, can hit, and play some shortstop. I don't. He's in like low single, double A.
I mean, it's that Shohei effect, man. The kids. I mean, not only are Mexican kids gonna be called Shohei Rodriguez and fucking in a couple years, but like,
dude, go ahead.
Players are going to be wanting to do what Shohei does, you know?
Yeah, and there's a few in the minor leagues that they're messing around with. They're trying it. They're seeing if they can do it. It's just too much wear and tear on your body, and like that's why the whole thing came up. Like, oh, Shohei's taking BP on the field, because what normally happens is the reason he doesn't do that is he hits in the cage and then he goes to to practice pitching, like inside the facility. So
yeah, that's what the commentators were saying. Yeah, they were surprised, but also he doesn't do it because he needs to get locked in. You know, he needs to because he's doing two roles.
Correct.
I think that's what I forget who they interviewed after the game. I don't know if it was Freeman or someone else.
Yeah, I did see Freeman and Betts. They did interview. I think it was Freeman probably because I saw like half the interview.
Yeah.
And I saw Kike also got a little bit of an interview because he also hit 3 home runs before. But he's like, oh, but I didn't have 10 punch outs. Like that's. And
was that the dude on the very right? If you remember the layout.
No, I don't.
I guess regardless.
Yeah. This was in the not the dugout. This was in the clubhouse though, like an interview.
Oh, never mind then.
Yeah. It was funny though because he's like, we need to do this quick because my English is going to start messing up or whatever.
Oh, that guy. I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. But no, yeah, Shohei is once in a lifetime, and people can get mad all they want about it. But like my thing is,
I mean, it's that payroll, dude. Hey, it's not as impressive because he's on the Dodgers, and the Dodgers spend $1 billion or however much money.
Yeah, I mean they spend $700 million.
Let's say the Cardinals had the same market, dude. Yeah. I mean, come on, they could spend $1 billion, get a couple Hall of Famers for $3.
What's stopping the Cardinals from getting another investor, like an investor group? What's stopping the Cardinals?
I don't know, dude. The market, I don't know. Small market.
If the Cardinals sold right now today, it would sell for billions of dollars. Like,
but it's just not fair, dude. That I'm Los Angeles. I can attract all the big stars. Oh, guess what? I'm gonna create a rule. I'm deferring money. Oh wow, so impressive.
But that's not a creative rule. Anybody could do it. Also, too, Shohei offered that contract to the Angels, to the Cubs, and to like another team. And the Dodgers were the team that was like, yeah, we're going to let you just do whatever you want. Like, we're going to pay you this money, and you're going to let you do whatever you want. And other teams wanted, like, either to have him do one more than the other, or they just, like... The Dodgers were like, because he also coming off an injury. So it was just like, no, we're going to let you rehab or whatever. And then once you're better, come back to it.
But it's not as impressive, dude, because his team steady got Hall of Famer Mookie Betts.
Which they traded for.
Freddie Freeman.
Who his team, they won a World Series and they said, yeah, I'm not gonna resign
him. Snell.
Who won a Cy Young and then nobody offered him a contract.
Dude, but it's a stacked team, man. It's the Dodgers just suck, dude. They're single-handedly ruining baseball, Jaime.
I mean, they have just as much homegrown talent as any other team that's in the playoffs. They spend just as much money. And they spent as much money as the Mets do, who did make the playoffs, as much as the Padres. Padres have $1 billion on 3 players. That's no different than the Dodgers.
I'm just saying, dude, it's not.
The Mets are paying 2 pitchers like $30 million a year. They're not even on a team anymore. The Dodgers develop talent and they spend their money right. They make the right trades. They develop their young pitching. And the thing is, if other people are going to be dumb and not, I'm just saying this,
Dude,
the Cardinals had Tommy Edman. The Cardinals were like, oh, he's hurt. We're just going to trade him because we want to get assets, because we want to pay him down the line. We want to get assets. We want to get him. While the Brewers are shopping Peralta, who had 17 wins last season, they just lost 4-0. You figure, oh man, let's keep my best pitcher. No. We don't want to pay him $8 million next year because we want to get 4 guys that we hope that one of them turns into Freddie Peralta. Like that's our move. And you know what though? We're gonna have 4 guys for $2 million though. Like, and maybe one was Freddie Peralta. Maybe.
No, I'm obviously devil's advocating. I'm a big Shohei fan, but it's just what the online has been saying, dude, trying to diminish what Shohei did the other day.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. There's a ton of people that feel that way. Half of it has to do with them being upset with their own team more so than anything. You want to complain like about, oh, the Dodgers are spending this much where they're spending 70% of their revenue, and you can be like, well, see, they could afford that because they make so much more. And it's just like, yeah, but their profit margins are less. Like, they're literally making less money. And the reason they're allowed to get so much more money is because they win.
True. I mean, if I was a Dodgers fan, dude, and I've been there a fan for 20 years, I go to every game. It's like, dude, these guys are spending money so you can have product on the field that's like nothing else, like entertaining, like it's just nothing else, dude, you know?
The Dodgers have been doing this for the last 10 years, and everyone was just like, oh, it doesn't matter because they choke. Same thing with the Yankees. It doesn't matter because when's the last time they won a World Series? It doesn't matter because, like, you can spend all that money, that's not how you win. And all of a sudden, now when we get the Yankees and the Dodgers in the World Series last year, all of a sudden it's a problem.
It's like, whoa, hold up. We got to pump the brakes. We got to implement
now that they're not choking.
Bottom caps.
Yeah. Now that they're not choking, everyone wants to be like, oh, no, yeah, this is a problem.
This is a problem.
You have the White Sox.
Of complainers.
Yeah. You have the White Sox in Chicago, one of the bigger markets in sports.
31.6%.
Yeah. And honestly, they have one player that probably makes like 20% of that. Like, they traded away anybody they didn't resign anybody, trade away everybody. And now, like, Luis Robert, who has a lot of injuries or whatever, when he comes for his contract, they're not resigning him. They're going to trade him, get whatever they can get. And they're hoping all these young players on rookie deals are going to be enough to help them win. And it's like, no, these are dog shit.
It's just a bunch of complaining, man. They don't want to pay the luxury tax. They don't want to pay up, dude. And that's your money where your mouth is, dude. That's what I'm saying, you know?
Yeah. And you have the Dodgers, Yankees, Padres, Mets that are giving these other teams like literally $100-200 million from the money they spent over the luxury tax. It's like you're literally getting free money for not playing. Like you're literally just like.
I saw the craziest thing the other day that they already paid off Shohei's whole contract. In his first year, dude.
Yeah.
Like 700 million, like just like that, they made it back.
Yeah, I mean the Japanese market is what really like
that is true. It did say
the Japanese market
because of the Japanese market, the obviously t-shirt, the jersey sales, and then just tickets at home in general.
Yeah, because there was something with advertising where like Japan doesn't normally advertise in like on American Airways, but I guess there's certain places where they have been doing it, or they're doing something with advertising where they're buying more commercials. I don't know whether that's to the Japanese market or to the American market. Maybe it is a Japanese market, but they normally didn't do that. But now they're like
also there's like some Japanese stuff at the actual park, like some actual like restaurants or something.
Yeah. I mean, they're all going in with the Japanese culture.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to get Murakami next year, and people are going to be real mad about it. Like, they're going to have the premier Japanese players. I mean, the Cubs are probably not going to even re-sign Imanaga, and then they're going to be mad when he goes to the Dodgers. Like, Yu Darvish, his deal's almost up. So Yu Darvish, real quick, signed with the Padres, and when he signed his big deal, he said, hey, this isn't going to hamper what we do like in the future, right? Because he wants to go after some of these other players like Yamamoto and stuff. They said, no, you're good. Don't worry about it. So last year they didn't win. And then instead of them like going double down, they're like, you know what? Actually, this whole spending all this money isn't working for us. They cut their they cut their payroll, which is still very high. They still cut it, and they didn't sign anybody. They didn't bring back Blake Snell, and it was just like. And then when Yu Darvish went to them, he's like, "Hey, what are we doing?" They're like, "Oh, well, we can't compete with the Dodgers. We can't spend the same way they do." And it's just like, but you just told him last year that you can. And Steve Cohen from the Mets or whatever, that man spends money like he got it to lose. He just makes bad deals. Like, I mean, that being Juan Soto's deal was like, everyone. Well, we're not talking about that. That's like $1 billion deal alone.
Yeah, they did. Their revenue was $444 million, and their payroll was $400 million. Like, God damn.
You got the list right?
Yeah, I got the list.
Where's the Pirates at?
The Pirates
They're gonna be in the
are they gonna be Pittsburgh 326 million, 112 million for their payroll. Only 34%.
And there's already chatter talking about Paul Skeens, who's going to win the Cy Young this year, who's only the second year in his league. You know, he's with Livy Dunn. They're talking about, like, should they trade him already? Because you get so much for him. And if you're not building a team around him, you might as well just trade him. So you have the best pitcher in baseball. Like, I think Paul Skeens is the best pitcher in baseball. Oh. And they're already saying, we might have to move him. You know what?
My daughter's getting married next year. I need some of that money. You know,
yeah.
We're gonna trade him.
Yeah, when he's playing for the Yankees in 3 years, I don't want to hear it. Like, they need to just re-sign him now. Give him the store. Like, what's the market? What do you want? Like, you had 2 years where you're pretty much the best pitcher in baseball. We're gonna pay you like the ace, and we're gonna build around you. Instead, it's like, no, let's make as much money off him as we can now, and then when he's on the last year of his deal, we're gonna trade him.
Just kick him off to the street.
Yeah.
Tell you what, Jaime, shit ain't right, man. People are just complainers. You know, comment down below if you hate the Dodgers. Comment down below if you want Shohei to go back to Japan. Comment down below if you think Aaron Judge is the best. He's not. I'm just saying, comment down below if you're a big ass hater. That's it for this week, folks.